Howdy folks, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds with the mighty Jingles. So, we're kind of stuck. Our ship, the extremely aptly named Unreliable, is missing a power regulator, and without a power regulator we can't take off. The nearby Spacer's Choice company town of Edgewater has a power regulator, but they're unwilling to part with it because they're kind of using it. However, the company administrator, Reed Thompson, has informed us that there are a bunch of deserters squatting in a nearby abandoned botanical lab who are siphoning power from the geothermal plant that supplies power to Edgewater. And if we were to enter the geothermal plant and shut off their power supply, they wouldn't need their power regulator anymore, which is a fairly brutal way of looking at it. He's keen that the deserters be encouraged to return to the town of Edgewater as soon as possible. And this seems to be a way of keeping everybody happy. Except for the deserters, obviously. So let's go and talk to them.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Take me to your leader.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
You don't know where the geothermal plant is, do you?
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
I don't think my charming personality is making much of an impression on it. Let's go and speak to the boss. This place seems to be doing alright for a bunch of deserters. They're probably going to be really unhappy when I turn their power off. And there's the boss.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
I think I'm supposed to like her.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Now, call me a wizened old cynic if you must, but I've been playing games for a long time now, and I'm pretty familiar with how this is probably going to go. Adelaide here, representing the deserters from Spacer's Choice, is being presented as an all-round good egg and snappy dresser. So obviously I'm supposed to sympathise with her. Meanwhile, Reed Thompson back in Edgewater is a company man through and through. He's completely humourless and unimaginative, although, to be fair, not a complete arsehole. But given a choice between hippy-dippy Earth Mother Adelaide, who's just oh so lovely, and tight-ass Thompson, I'm clearly supposed to be siding with Adelaide. The thing is, I've been doing this long enough to know that there's no way things are going to be that simple. There's obviously going to be one hell of a catch somewhere, so let's try to find out exactly where it is and get some more background information. Addie, is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
Right, well, that's cleared up the mystery of why she's no longer on Spacer's Choice Christmas card list. She's a communist hippie.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Yeah, and you left Edgewater because...
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Alright, well, let's break the good news.
Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
There's no sense in trying to sugarcoat this. Reed's not paying me to be a diplomat. In fact, he's not paying me at all. So, you are living off power that belongs to the town. Come back to the cannery. That's it.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Yeah, that's not really true though, is it, Adelaide? Because you're living out here by yourselves on somebody else's power.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Because I need a power regulator and I don't owe you shit.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, but what about all those poor suckers in Edgewater who are depending on the company for a living?
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
For somebody who seems very keen to paint themselves as the patron saint of everything, she seems to have very little compassion for the people in Edgewater.
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
So you think that Reed is just doing this to piss you off?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
Adelaide, why do you hate the town so much?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Whoa, don't you go sticking the knife into Parvati just to get to me. That shit ain't gonna fly.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah, convenient that it can't be unsaid though, isn't it? Anyway, I think we're done here.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Oh, you'd best hope I don't. I still don't know which way I'm going to jump on this, but we'll worry about that when it happens. Meanwhile, Parvati recognises somebody that she used to know from Edgewater, a kid who used to be a bit sweet on her.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Oh, Thomas, I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to learn.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You you ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Well, it's funny you should ask.
No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Yeah, well, I'll keep my eye open for any more.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I do believe I've just taken on a side quest. Right, anyway, geothermal plant next, I suppose. And we're going to have to come to some sort of a decision once we get there. On the way out, though, let's just see if What's-Her-Face has anything to say.
Thought I told you to move along.
Lovely to see you again too, Grace.
Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another.
Oh, I detect another sub-quest. So who's been wandering off?
Got anything in you besides questions? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
So, find out what happened to Zoe. Got it. Quest accepted.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Unless marauders got to her, then parts of her could be in lots of places.
Could do without the gallows humor.
That's what I love about you, Grace, your sense of humour.
I'll tell you what I can.
So how well did you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
Any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
Well, what do you mean once already?
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Maybe she just got taken by marauders.
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell.
Any chance you could point me somewhere specific other than just out there?
Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere.
Alright, well I guess that's enough for now.
What is it?
No, we're done here, Grace. As always, a pleasure talking to you. So, let's get these side quests out of the way first. Since we're here, let's check Zoe's room. Actually, no, we'll speak to Stefan first. This is apparently the only person that Zoe ever spent any length of time with.
Something I can help you with?
Actually, yes.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
So what happened the day she disappeared?
Zoe and I were going to watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Oh, Stefan, stop trying to flatter me. Tell me about Zoe.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
And what kind of surprise was that?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Well, that's a relief. I was expecting a dick pic.
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
I think I see where this is going.
Hey, I got time.
A certain picture of young Zoe is starting to develop here. I mean, Stefan is a bit of an idiot, but he's a very pretty idiot, isn't he? Oh, here we go, journal entry. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take your destiny into your own hands. Been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living... Oh, God. Yes, she's an idiot. Suddenly it's all becoming very, very clear. Zoe, who I'm guessing is probably very attractive, but with no real skills, found that working as menial labour at the cannery in Edgewater didn't fit her romantic vision of herself. So she ran away. Yep, here we go. An earlier journal entry confirming that she ran away to live a life of romance and adventure with the brave rebels out of the botanical lab. Modelling herself on the star of her favourite serial drama. But once she'd run away to live with the deserters, she found out the hard way that the life of adventure and romance on the High Chaparral wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Turns out that subsistence living on the fringes of civilization is actually bloody hard work. And even attaching herself to the dumbest and prettiest boy in town wasn't good enough, so she's run away to become the queen of the bandits. If, by some slim chance, she is still alive, I may just shoot her myself. But first, I've got a suburb full of marauders to clear out. No idea how many are going to be here. Probably a lot. Stealth isn't really an option here. Go gadget bullet time. One down. And his little dog too. Oh, there are a lot of them. I probably really shouldn't have tripped the booby trap when Parvati was standing right next to it. Oh look, one of the dogs got stuck. Well, hooray for minor bugs. Remember, if it helps you, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Whoa, this guy's got an actual name. He's not just random marauder bandit number 23. And I took quite a bit of damage there from him. Quickly pop the inhaler. Oh crap, I'm out of ammo. Again, thank God for bullet time. One down. Another one down. Come on. God damn it. Need more ammo. Got him. There are actually mods you can fit to your weapons that increase the ammunition capacity, amongst other things. Amongst lots and lots of other things. As you'd expect from this type of game. One left. Parvati's kind of low on health. Gotcha, sucker. He kind of zigged when he should have zagged. And that just leaves either Zoe or Zoe's mortal remains. And frankly, at this point, I'm happy either way. Oh, she's alive. Yay.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
Remember, Jingles, rescue, not kill. Rescue, not kill.
Only thing unscrewed around here is the head of that marauder you took down. Never seen moves like that outside my serial dramas. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
Maybe there's something you can clear up for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
How is it that you're not dead?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
You sure it wasn't all of the drugs that you stole before you ran away?
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
Just so we're clear, not a prisoner?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
And you left because...
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something?
Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Let's just see if she really is as shallow as she seems.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Masked Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Wow, she really is a sick, sorry, despicable excuse for a human being, isn't she? I suppose I should really be feeling sorry for Stefan at the idea of sending her back to him.
You got that?
I mean, he's a bit of an idiot, but he never seems to have hurt anybody. Then again, he's a bit of an idiot, so he probably actually looked forward to seeing her again. Oh, God. You know, I would have probably been doing the whole universe a favour if I just shot her and then gone back to Grace and claimed ignorance. Yeah, she was dead when we got there, you know, as we expected. Walk into a camp of marauders, this is going to happen. What can I say? Too pretty to die, but clearly too stupid to live. But then again, can you really call Grace stupid? I mean, she was doing exactly what she set out to do. She had insinuated herself into a band of marauders without being killed and eaten. I'm not saying she's intelligent, you know, we're not talking book smart here. But she clearly understands how to manipulate people. Hell, she just manipulated me. I sent her back. Maybe I can catch up with her. Shoot her in the back of the head. Just go with the whole Marauders killed Nater story. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have much problem selling that one to Grace. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, it's done now.
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
It's depressing. You don't want to know.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
No, it's all good, Grace. We're fine. Thanks. I suppose at some point I'm going to have to stop procrastinating and actually go to the geothermal plant and make a decision about the power diversion, aren't I? There is just one small loose end that I want to tie up before we commit to actually doing that. I want to check in with Stefan, see what he thinks about Zoe being back. See if he really is as stupid as I think he is.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
He really is as stupid as we thought.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Those two are made for each other. She is evil incarnate, and he's too stupid and pretty to see it. They really are a match made in heaven. Anyway, I've delayed enough with all these side quests. I really do need to make a decision about the future of either Edgewater or the Deserter camp. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to investigate and resolve the situation at the geothermal power plant, and all of that will be coming up in a future episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. This really is a fantastic game. It's great to see Obsidian Entertainment back to doing what they do best. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.